Hi everyone, Mary Beth here. Today I'm going to walk you through how you can create a timeline with planned tasks and then how you can template that to use it on your other projects. This means that you can take your project management out of multiple places and now put it into Materio. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Let's go. All right, so you'll see here that I have a timeline with a list on the left and then a Gantt chart view on the right. So these are linked together, and this is how you create a timeline. So you'll notice here that I have different phases of work, and then in those phases of work, I have different tasks. Now, this is the part that's really great, is you can create these phases and these tasks, what we were calling planned tasks, and you can save those as a template, and you can use them on your other projects. First, I'm going to walk you through some of the nuances of our timeline and the functionality of it, just to be sure that you know exactly how to use it. At the top, you'll see I have this little grabber. This allows me to decrease and increase the amount of days, and then it also allows me to scroll through the timeline. So this is how you can control the visual or the Gantt chart view on the right. And then on the left here, I have my list. I can add a new phase here. I can also just come in and add a new phase here. And then you'll see that it naturally becomes dependent on the phase before it. So you'll notice that right now I created this new phase and it is dependent on a punch list. I can come in and I can just close out of that if I don't want it to be dependent on that phase. If I want to adjust the date range of items, I can come in here and click a start date and then a finish date, or I can come over on the right here and I can select the item that I want and drag it using this bar. If the phase after it is dependent on it, it will also drag forward or backwards. If I want to create a template out of this timeline, I'm going to come to the top right here and select this gear. I'm going to do Save New Template. All right, I'm going to hit Save, and now it's going to be there in case I want to use it on another project. The other thing I want to call out before we hop over to doing it from scratch or adding a template is that you also have selections due, other decisions due, and then you'll see that you have a section for shipping soon and upcoming deliveries. So what this is going to do is allow you to add in different categories of selections and set due dates for those groups, and it's going to save it on your timeline. And then also, you'll notice that the tile is actually done on this project. So I added that and it's already marked off as done. And you'll also notice that I have other decisions due. This is where I can come in and I can write custom revisions or decisions that need to be done. And there you go. I can save that as a decision that is due. Again, this is going to show visually on my timeline and I can always drag and drop it. Let's go to a new project and talk about how you can add a template. All right, so when I have a project and there is no timeline on it yet, I can create a timeline from scratch or I can use a template. So I'll show you how to pull in a template. You'll notice that I have a few here, so I can pull this in, select it, and there you go. It's created for me. Now, if for some reason I wanted to reset this template or I needed to add, reset this timeline or add a different template, I could just select the gear and then select reset timeline. And I'm going to delete that all. And now I'll show you how you actually can create a timeline from scratch. So when I create a timeline, it's going to tell me to start building it here. And you'll see I'm just typing and then pressing enter and it's saving it for me. And again, by default, it's making it dependent on the previous phase. If I want to change that, I can just close out here. Then I can expand this, and this is where I can create those planned tasks. It's super simple to do this. You just start typing and press enter. If I need to edit the task, I just go to this dot menu and click edit. And then also, if I want to reassign it, I can just click the name because it's going to be default given to you, and I can just select who it's supposed to be assigned to. Now, these tasks are planned tasks that are going to show up on that project. You'll notice that when I have a phase that starts in the current week, these tasks in that phase are going to show up on my project dashboard. So now when I come over here, you'll see that I have Randall Street and I have all of the items that are due. And here I can also manage the due dates for these items. I can also manage who is in charge of this item. So you can do everything here, but those planned tasks that are already associated with the project are going to show up here when it is time for that phase of work to begin. Thanks for joining me for an overview of the timeline and templates, as well as planned tasks. We're excited for you all to get organized and use this to scale your projects and think ahead of what's coming up. If you have any feedback, you can always reach out to us at hello@materio.co.